include him as well.
Gabriella, back to you again. Just in terms of his age, 37 years old, as someone who obviously watched him last season and knows precisely what level he was at, what do you say to the sceptics here in Australia saying that he may well be too old?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to what you expect from him. Del Piero, throughout his career, he's always been what many of us might call a coach's player, and since coaches love him because he combines work rate with quality. You know, he's always very humble about that. You saw that in the 2006 World Cup, where maybe he wasn't, you know, the superstar of the Italian team anymore, but he worked very hard on the wing, did a lot of humble things like that. It'd be very interesting to see what he does at Sydney, because obviously that takes a lot out of you as a player. Last season at Juve, you know, he really didn't play that much. I think it's going to be down to the manager. You know, if you ask him, with his mentality, if you ask him to do the grunt work and the dirty work and be the kind of player he was 5 or 6 years ago, he'll do it. He might not be as effective at it. Another alternative might be to sort of, you know, use him in those positions where his quality and his technique can really make a difference. And I think if you do that, and if you've got players around him who help him, then you know they say class is permanent, it doesn't go away. And I think in his case, he's taking good care of himself. I think he can probably contribute for another couple of years.
Tony, I guess I'll ask you the same question. Well, you know, a lot of people are talking about his age at 37. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I mean, he's been training. He finished playing Serie A season where he, you know, was captain of Juve, won the Scudetto, and played most of the games. Since then, he's had a personal trainer. He's been training with the local team as well as sort of personally with this trainer. So he's fit. He's not match fit, and we're hoping to get him out soon and get him straight into the team environment. But I think he'll be fine with the A-League. Although the A-League is not, well, like everyone else thinks it is a tough league, but we think he'll fit in well.
Gabriella, from your experience, and you touched on this in your previous answer, but Del Piero was always in the thick of the action, trying to penetrate the defence, and he did so mostly effectively. Given his age and maybe perhaps a little slower now, should he hang back a bit? Should he play a different kind of role, more of a conductor role, maybe?
Well, I mean, I think that's going to be one option for the manager. I mean, you guys are more familiar than I am with the rest of the squad, what kind of players are at his disposal. But to me, that would certainly be an intelligent way to use his skills. You know, I think, you know, last season, Juve were a high-energy team, and I think for that reason, he didn't play that much. But when he did play, he often made the difference with his quality. So you could perhaps see him playing maybe as a second striker, maybe playing in a bit deeper, maybe playing in the hole. And between that and set pieces, as I said, I think he can really continue to make a difference.
Well, Gabriella, thank you for joining us today. Good of you to help us out on the World Game. We hope to see you soon on the show. Tony, for you as well, thank you for coming in. Again, congratulations from all of us for this wonderful coup for the game in Australia.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, Zdwila and Foz, stay with us. Time now for our first break, after which we preview the Socceroos World Cup qualifier against Jordan. See you shortly.
I think the way I've improved and the way I've grown as a player in the last couple of years, I think it was definitely on the cards, and it was something that you know, I said to myself and the family that you know, I want to give it a shot in one of the biggest leagues in the world, and you know, it came around, and yeah, it's here now.
In career best form, Brett Holman has arrived at Aston Villa, determined to build upon an impressive few years for club and country.
I want to do as much as I can, obviously, and what I do is score goals and set up goals and be attacking. That's what I'm good at, and hopefully I can do that. You know, I had a good year last year with AZ, and you know, I scored goals and I set up goals. So you know, hopefully I can make that same sort of impact.
Holman arrived at Birmingham after several standout campaigns with Dutch club AZ Alkmaar, and will spearhead Villa's quest to do better than their 16th place Premier League finish of last campaign.
Yeah, obviously I think you know, the first goal is to have a better year than last year. I think that's a must, and you know, to not even get into a tangle with even thinking about playing relegation football. And if you look at the way we've been playing and the new acceptance of the visions of the new coach, then the squad we've got, I think we've definitely got enough quality to you know, do some damage and have a good year.
At international level, Holman is enjoying a watershed spell for the Socceroos, a period highlighted by his unforgettable strike against Serbia at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa.
It was it was an unbelievable moment, and you know, something where the ball hits the back of the net and you actually think, yeah, did it actually happen? And yeah, in a split second, you absolutely go nuts.
Now a linchpin Socceroo on one of the biggest stages in world football, Holman plans on achieving even more as Villa aims to return to the company of the Premier League's elite, and the Socceroos plot their course to Brazil.
You know, that just says you know, almost everything about how my career has gone. I think whether it's been international or club football, it's been a sort of constant sort of stepping ladder, and you know, I've you know, gone and kept going sort of thing, and you know, hopefully I can still keep going, and you know, that ladder is still going, and hopefully I can just you know, keep stepping up, and you know, I want to do that for the Aussies and at Aston Villa.
Socceroo Brett Holman on live at Aston Villa, and his hopes for the Socceroos. The Villa forward was in action for the Aussies in last week's friendly against Lebanon, a match Australia won 3-0. A game of two halves, as they say in the cliche books. Driller, what did you think of that performance?
First half was very good. I thought Lebanon were very ordinary, especially just their organisation. But look, there's Bresh playing just what a fantastic ball. Again, he was our most influential player. Everything goes through him, sets up everything. Great to see Cahill back in the side and scoring a very typical header for him. He does that so often, just climbs over, and we were dominating, created most of the chance. I don't think Lebanon had any chance. There's again that ball from Bresh out wide, just has that vision to pick out the pass. Matty Mackay started in the centre of midfield with Bresciano, which was probably one of only the few times that he's ever started there. I think Foz normally plays out left back or on the left flank. Rukavica played there as well. We had more chances. Brosk missing this one. So I think for the first half it was a very, very decent performance. In the second half there were a lot of changes. Here we see Cahill again with another chance linking up with Brosk. Lebanon towards the end of the first half started coming back into the game, had a couple of half chances, but in the second half a lot of changes. Holman came on, Thompson came on late and scored the goal. Again, Cahill with another chance. So from a confidence point of view, I think it was certainly the Socceroos after the loss to Scotland. We're very happy with that. This is the first goal for Thompson in 6 years, I think it is for the Socceroos. So great for him as well to get on the score sheet. And for Holger, like I said, confidence was there. I thought it was a decent performance, but Lebanon were pretty average at times.
Foz, your thoughts?
A timely win, a timely few goals heading into the Jordan game. I just wonder whether, you know, that must be what we can expect to see against Jordan. Probably with Timmy playing up front there, very strong in the air, scored one, could have got three. He must think that Jordan at the back are maybe a little bit light aerially, which may well be right. And also the centre of midfield was interesting, the fact that Bresciano and Mackay played there. So he's much more used to having, let's say, a Valeri or a Jedinak or one of those guys.
More defensive.
More defensive aspects. So perhaps he feels against Jordan that not only do we need the 3 points, we're desperate, but that we're going to have a lot of control of the game and that we're going to be sitting on them for a long time. And you need more offensive creativity than we do, you know, sitting in our own half, as we've done in many of the games. So interested to see what comes out of that game to the way that he's going to approach the Jordan game.
OK, more about that in a moment. Scott McIntyre is in Amman for the World Game. with the latest. Scotty?
Thanks, Les. Well, what a difference a couple of months makes. The last time Australia was here in the Middle East, in Oman in June, temperatures were a furnace-like plus 40 every day. In fact, it was almost 45 degrees at kickoff in that match. Things are a lot cooler here in the Jordanian capital. Temperatures in the mid to low 20s expected for kickoff tomorrow night, which will allow the side to play the kind of pressing up-tempo, possession-based game that Holger Osijek wants them to play. There have, though, been a few hiccups, though, since the side arrived here in Jordan. Several players are carrying slight knocks. Sasha Onanovsky trained separate to the main squad for part of yesterday's penultimate session. There was also the rather strange occurrence a couple of days ago where the side turned up to their allotted training venue only to find it had been double booked by the Iranian national side. No one quite knows why Iran are even in this country. They're playing Lebanon tomorrow night, but I can tell you that Holger Osijek and the players weren't at all happy at being forced to wait almost 15 to 20 minutes to get on to complete their session ahead of what looms as a real key match on the road to Rio. There's only 3 away matches remaining in this final stage of qualification. Japan in June and Iraq next month both seem very tricky fixtures, so the players know just how important it is to pick up maximum points against Jordan tomorrow night.
You know, it's going to be difficult, but you know, we're confident in our ability, and you know, obviously it's been stated much that we hadn't won in 4 games, but we obviously didn't look into that too much. We go out there every game to try and win and put on a good performance, and sometimes, you know, it just doesn't work. International football it's difficult because you're not playing or training with each other a lot, so you only got a minimum time to prepare. So, but we know we should do better, and the Scotland game was a massive blimp for us. But you know, I think we've taken a lot out of that, and Lebanon was a good performance, obviously against not as strong opposition, but hopefully we can really put on a good performance, and most of all take the 3 points against Jordan.
For Jordan also, it's a big fixture. They have only 1 point from their opening 2 matches as opposed to the 2 that the Socceroos have picked up. And their coach Adnan Hamad is obviously feeling the heat. He's closed all their training sessions, not just to the Australian press, but also to the local Jordanian media. The team also has to deal with some emotional issues surrounding the death of Mahmoud Al-Jahari, regarded as one of the finest ever Jordanian coaches. He was the current technical advisor to the JFA when he tragically passed away last week. So there should be a big turnout on hand. I can tell you the tickets are cheap. They're only 2 Jordanian dinars. That's about $3 Australian. So should be lots of people in attendance for what's a key match for both Jordan and Australia. Guys, it's back to you.
Scotty McIntyre, and we'll be hearing more from him in Oman. Foz, what should the strategy be against Jordan? These are must-win games coming up now.
This one really is, especially because you've got the following month. I think you've got Iraq.
Away.
Yeah, so for this one, you need to get the 3 points. Therefore, I would like to see us really dominating the way that they did against Lebanon. And that means really trying to pressure them much higher than what we've done in the majority of the matches. And that's, I just don't know if that's going to be the way that he's going to do it, though. It's interesting that he put Cruz and Rukavica for speed, which typically you use on the counter-attack. But then he put the 2 guys in the centre without a defensive midfielder. So seemingly he had both, and you had Timmy up front for, you know, aerial dominance, and came and linked very well. But they'll be much more compact and much better organised than Lebanon. They were just like this, right? So it was much easier than it will be against Jordan. Play? Holman makes a big difference. He makes a big difference because he's able to link between the base of midfield and attack better than pretty much anyone that they have, aside from Bresciano. But Bresciano's playing a little bit further back. We'd all love to see him a bit higher up the park. The trouble with that is that he needs Bresciano to play through and play out of midfield, right? Because he comes and links there, that's right, and then he links up higher up the park. So he needs, there's no question that I think he needs Holman. He needs Bresciano in particular to have a great game. And we need Timmy to keep his scoring boots on.
OK, another break now, but first David Bashir wraps up a busy weekend of FIFA World Cup qualifiers from around the globe.
Argentina hosted Paraguay, who had Gerardo Peluso in charge for the first time. Inside 3 minutes, his team was down. A slice of luck for the Albiceleste. Angel Di Maria's curling shot came off the back of Ezequiel Lavezzi. Paraguay equalised from the spot before Argentina reclaimed the lead, and then after hitting the woodwork twice, Lionel Messi produced this. 3-1 to Argentina,